And there is Warren's semi-hidden winch bumper. It's a great design, like we said earlier, for a good low-profile design, but with a ton of strength and capability associated with it. You can see the welded recovery points and then access ports for the control pack and the clutch lever. Really, really great design. Low profile, but with a good presence. Little bull bar on there for some extra protection. You can mount some lights and really gives you a lot of flexibility. So we're looking forward to getting this install going. All right, here is the Warren VR EVO-12S winch that we're going to be installing in our 2019 Tundra. It's going to be sitting nicely in the Warren semi-hidden winch bumper that we're going to install as well. This winch, all of the strength and durability you would expect from somebody like Warren. They've been making incredible products for a very long time. They've been a strategic partner of ours for a while now, and we're super excited to be working with them on this build project. You can see it came shipped with the synthetic rope, and as mentioned in one of the other videos, they also outfitted us with their Sidewinder and Hyperlink accessories. The Sidewinder is a winch hook replacement device, and we'll showcase that a little bit later on. And then the Hyperlink is a shackle replacement as well, so making it way easier for you when you're doing your recoveries. In addition, the VR Evo comes with the 2-mode remote, so you can run it in wired or wireless configuration. I think we all know wireless can be very convenient when you don't have to worry about running the remote cable through your window, especially if it's driving rain. But at the same time, there's something to be said for making sure that when you plug in, it's going to work every time. So you've got the reliability of the wire, but also the functionality and flexibility, convenience of wireless mode. All right, as we dive into the install of the Warren semi-hidden winch bumper, you're going to see it basically replaces the black plastic section of the OEM bumper. The result is a super clean look, which we'll show you later on. Okay, so probably the trickiest part of getting the winch installed on the bumper, and it's really not all that tricky. If you've done one before, it's basically the same. Once you get those square nuts slid into the captured port at the bottom of the winch, you need to come up from underneath the bumper and line up the bolt with that nut. And it's usually pretty well lined up, and it's especially well lined up when the winch and the bumper are made by the same company. So we'll do that for all 4, and then we'll tighten it down. Well, sure enough, I jinxed myself. The 4th bolt to secure the winch to the bumper ended up being the trickiest because that square bolt came out of the captured port, the bottom of the winch. So without having to take out all the other bolts, the 3 others that I put in, I was able to use a magnetic tool to find it and get it back in place. So the next thing that we're going to do is just secure all 4 of the mounting bolts. I suggest using an extension for the forward 2 because you'll see this plate extends at an angle off the bottom of the bumper, and there is an access port here at the bottom of that plate. Extension makes it a heck of a lot easier to get in there and secure those bolts. So secure the 4 bolts, and we're on to the next step. All right, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to remove the tow hooks, 1 from each side. Each tow hook has 2 17mm bolts. We're going to save those for later. So pull the 2 tow hooks off each side, and then there are 3 Phillips head screws holding the bottom plastic piece of the bumper to the skid plate. We're going to remove those as well. All right, now that we've got the 3 Phillips head screws that are securing the plastic part of the bumper to the skid pan, and both of the 17mm bolts securing the tow hook, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to move all 4 of the 14mm bolts that actually secure the bumper to the frame. So 4 of those on each side. This is the point where it's super helpful to have an extra pair of hands so you don't drop the bumper on your chest. Good luck. All right, now that we've got the reinforcement bar separated from the rest of the bumper, we're going to use a 14mm socket and take these 3 off of each side for a total of 6. Retain that hardware because we will need that in a second. Once that reinforcement bar is gone, we're going to reinstall the bumper structures back into the bumper with the new brackets. All right, we've got the bumper structures back installed and the new brackets installed as well. Everything is left loose intentionally so that we have room for adjustment. And now we'll plan our surgery. All right, so there you can see our cutout for where the control pack and access for the remote plug is going to be. So the next step is we reinstall the inner fender liners, and then we put the bumper on the truck. All right, so we're approaching the final stages here. We've got the bumper resting on the studs. You'll see the cutout is done, the trimming for the control pack is done, and we've just got it resting on the studs here very, very carefully. And the next thing that we're gonna do is put the winch and bumper on a platform here and jack it up into place. But before we do, we've got to take the positive and negative cables for the winch and route them up behind the bar and up to the battery. All right, so we've got everything lined up. We've got it temporarily installed, and we're just going to make the final adjustments and torque down the 4 bolts on each side. That's got the semi-hidden bumper and the original bumper structure against the frame, and then we'll go ahead and tighten up the inside of the fender liners, and then we'll be good to go.